Just add that on the list with everything else. So we're started.
Good evening and welcome. Tonight we have a public hearing. The first public hearing will be a public hearing on ordinance number 1638, an ordinance to amend the ordinance 1598 of adopting the annual budget and the tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July the 1st, 2023 and ending 2024. Essentially, that's the old budget. Anyone care to speak on that public hearing? Now we'll close the public hearing and call the meeting of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for August 26th, 2024 to order. This time, I'd like to ask Reverend Tim McGehee to bring the invocation and then to follow that with leading us in the pledge. Reverend McGehee, please stand.
Join me as we pray. Father God, we pause to acknowledge the one who makes it all possible, the one who created us, the one who created this world, and the one who is the giver and the taker of life. We thank you, Lord, for loving us so much that you'd send your son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. We thank you that we by faith can be recipients of that wonderful gift of salvation. We do, Lord, pray right now for our city and for our nation, for our world. We are in turmoil. There is division. Lord, there are distractions. There is disillusionment. There's things going on that we never would have thought we'd ever seen or experienced. So we ask you to draw our hearts back to you and help us to get our minds focused on you, to keep our eyes on you, Lord, and to look to the hills from which cometh our strength. We pray for this meeting in particular tonight as we bid adieu to those that have served us well in these recent days, and we look forward to welcoming on the new board, those that are coming on the school board, those that are coming on as aldermen, our new mayor. And we thank you for what the future holds, and we just pray for our fair city, Lord, in every aspect. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend McGehee. I'd like for our city recorder to call the roll.
Almacher, Barry, Glick,
Here.
Noes,
Here.
Mann,
Here.
Mathis,
Here.
Wilson.
Present.
Okay, so we have 5 present. We do have a quorum. So tonight, we have no commendations, we have no proclamations or awards or special presentations. We do want to open the floor for comments from citizens. I'd like for any citizens who would like to address the outgoing board to come forward at this time, state your name and address, and keep your comments to within 3 minutes. If there are those in the audience who wish to address the incoming board, the new board, there will be an opportunity later in the agenda for you to do that. So if anyone would care to address the old board on anything under the purview of the old board, please come forward. So now we'll close the comments from citizens, and we'll go to the agenda, and I'll ask this board to approve the agenda, which is the first 3 items on the agenda. Previous minutes from August 22nd, and the unfinished business, which is orders number 1638. A motion to approve. Motion from Mann, seconded by Glick. Okay. Without objection, I'd like to move the beer board to this point in the agenda so that this board can approve the minutes, and the only thing we're looking at are the minutes from the previous meeting. So without objection, we'll take a vote on approving the minutes from the August 12th meeting. Motion to approve. Motion from Glick, second by Mann. Any questions on the agenda? Not, vote by raising your hand to approve those minutes. Okay, that's done. With that, we'll go back to the regular agenda, and with that, I'd like to, we have approved the agenda, and the first item, we'd like to get a vote on approving the minutes that are on the consent agenda from August 12th. Motion from Mann, second by Mathis. We'll vote by raising our hands, approving the agenda, approving the minutes, approved, and that passes 5-0. Only item under unfinished business that we have is ordinance number 1638, which was on the public hearing earlier. An ordinance of the city of Tullahoma to amend the ordinance number 1598, adopting the annual budget and tax rate for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023, and ending July 30th, 2024. Passage on third and final reading. Need a motion. Motion by Mann, seconded by Glick. And any questions? Seeing no questions, vote on ordinance number 1538. Raise your hand. Passes 5-0. Being no other unfinished business, we'll go into the next portion of the meeting tonight, which is it's my honor and privilege to introduce the individual to be presiding over the next part of the meeting. That's the city attorney, Steve Worsham, who will read the results of the recent election. Mr. Worsham, you're recognized.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to announce the results of the municipal election for the city of Tullahoma. The results were sent to us as certified by the Colby County Election Commission, executed by the county chairman, the secretary, and 2 of the 3 other members of the election commission. The members of the election commission have certified that the following persons were elected for the next term for the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. As mayor, Charles Lynn Seaburn. As alderman, Matthew Bird, Cernovia McGee, and Bush Toma. And school board, Brock Tompton, Kim Usselton, and J. Patrick Welch. And for the unexpired term, Rosie Graham. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, I'll introduce our city judge, who will preside over the swearing in of the new boards.
Thank you. Get our paperwork. This doesn't surprise me. Rosie Graham's all the time. Rosie Graham. Rosie Graham, if you'd raise your right hand, dear. Repeat after me. I, Rosie Graham,
I, Rosie Graham,
school board member
School Board Member
for the city of Tullahoma, Tennessee,
for the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
truly,
truly,
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties
perform the
of
duties
this office
of this office
during my incumbency
during my incumbency
without fear,
without fear,
favor,
favor,
or partiality.
or partiality.
You owe me a hug. All right, thank you, Rosie. All right, now Kim, I saw Kim Wilson, here she is. She's not my sister-in-law, but she's my law partner's sister.
Same difference.
If you'd raise your right hand, I, Kim Wilson,
I, Kim Messelton,
school board member
school board member
of the city of Tullahoma, Tennessee,
of the city of Tullahoma,
solemnly
Tennessee.
swear
Solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
truly,
truly,
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties
perform the duties
of this office
of this office
during my incumbency.
during my incumbency.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Again, another hug.
I need glasses. Thank you.
Thank you. And Patrick Wells. Pat. Now, if you'd raise your right hand. I, Patrick Welch,
I, Patrick Welch,
school board member
school board member
for the city of Tullahoma,
of the
Tennessee,
city of Tullahoma, Tennessee,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
to faithfully,
truly,
truly,
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties
perform the duties
of this
of
office
this office
during my incumbency
during my incumbency
without fear,
without fear,
favor,
favor,
or partiality.
or partiality.
I don't want to hug you.
I don't. We thought about it, though.
Yeah, we talked prior to this.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Okay. And Matthew Bird, those two little kids. I'm gonna.
Brought this with me too.
All right, good. All right. If you want me to hold that and you put your hand on it.
All righty.
Then repeat after me. I, Matthew Bird,
I, Matthew Bird,
Alderman for the city of Tullahoma,
Alderman for the City of Tullahoma,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
truly,
truly,
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties of this office
perform the duties of this office
during my incumbency
during my incumbency
without fear,
without fear,
favor,
favor,
or partiality,
or partiality,
to the best of my skill and ability.
to the best of my skill and
So help
ability.
me God.
So help me God.
Way to go. All right. Matthew. This man's writing's messier than mine.
No way.
Yeah. Okay.
I need that back.
Yeah. All right. Now we get to Mr. Bush Towa.
You said the rules would paddle.
Okay. Bush Toma, you can raise your right hand. I, Bush Toma,
I, Bush Toma,
Alderman for the city of Tullahoma, Tennessee,
Alderman for the city of Tullahoma,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
truly,
truly,
and impartially
impartially
perform the duties of this office
perform the duties of this
during my
office
incumbency
during my incumbency
without fear,
without fear,
favor,
favor,
or partiality.
partiality.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Do I get to keep the pen?
I don't know if you folks knew when you elected him, he's left-handed.
Right of mine.
Chernobyl McGee, come on up, young lady. I wish you had just brought the New Testament. If you'd raise your right hand. I, Sonoria McGee,
I, Cernobia McGee,
Alderman for the City of Tullahoma,
Alderman for the City of Tullahoma,
affirm that I will faithfully,
affirm that I will faithfully,
truly,
truly,
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties
perform the
of
duties
this office
of this office
during my incumbency
during my incumbency
without fear,
without fear,
favor,
favor,
or partiality. So
partiality.
help me God.
So help me God.
Give me a hug, yeah. I heard a tumbling time table, I think. Come on up here. This man is a star in South Jackson on the stage. He's multi-talented. If you would raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Lynn Seaburn,
I, Lynn Seaburn,
Mayor for the City of Tullahoma,
Mayor for the
Tennessee,
City of Tullahoma, Tennessee,
do affirm
do affirm
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
truly,
truly,
impartially
impartially
perform the duties of this office
perform the duties of this office
during my incumbency
during my incumbency
without fear,
without fear,
favor,
favor,
or partiality.
partiality.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Brock. Oh, Brock, the guy with those cute little kids. Come on. The Bible says, in her Bible says, the last shall be first. So you better keep that in mind.
I'm a lefty too, so.
All right. If you would raise your hand. I, Brock Compton.
I, Brock Compton,
School board member
school board member
for the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee.
for the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
truly,
truly,
and impartially
and impartially
perform the duties of
perform the duties
this office
of this office
during my incumbency
during my incumbency
without fear,
without fear,
favor,
favor,
or partiality.
or partiality.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, good. Not a left-hander.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Judge Conley, you have again done a superb job. We thank you for your service.
Thank you, Mayor, for your...
At this time, the old board will, the outgoing members will remove themselves, and the new board may take your places.
Mom told me to take off. You good? All right.
The gallows yours. Good luck.
All right, where we at? Approval of agenda.
Can you see everyone here?
We have stuff all here, but I mean, we have all this space. And that one's a lot better with my glasses. But it's good. So we're picking up
Did y'all play around with this?
Jacob will be there.
And that's where you want to speak when there's a thing, hit the plus. It's real easy, but if you have any it's pretty simple. gonna have to move them along here in a second. They gonna talk. Yeah. I told my daughter that would probably happen.
Must mean there's not too many controversial things on here.
Yeah, just that chair that's gonna be right sitting on the floor.
They are pretty comfy like that.
Hey, your brother's waving at you.
Yes, these sort of fall out that way, but I'm not going to complain because they are comfy.
I'm thinking it's gonna die down, so I'm gonna have to interrupt you in a minute. As directed by Mr. Sneed, we'll call the meeting back to order. All right, our first item on the remaining agenda is the approval of the agenda for the remaining meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? We have a motion and a second. You can see it up there a lot better than here, that's for sure. Do we have any comments on that? If not, we'll vote. Seven yes. All right. The next part of our meeting is comments from the citizens, so if anybody has, I'll just read what we have on the agenda since I don't know this yet. All citizens interested to speak for up to 3 minutes about any matter within the purview of the board. Sir, go ahead. And if you would, please state your name and address.
I'm Brian Mosley. I live at 1124 Westwood Drive here in Tullahoma. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you all for allowing me to speak. I would like to express our deepest gratitude to Tullahoma Animal Control Officer Chris Cabral and Police Chief Chase Sons for their efforts in helping us navigate a very difficult and traumatic situation. Last month, several dogs belonging to our neighbor across the street entered our property, went into our backyard, and savagely mauled our boy Bruiser, costing us over $6,000 in veterinary bills. After 3 weeks, we were forced to put him down due to the extreme nature of his injuries. The wounds were absolutely horrific. His throat was nearly ripped out, his belly was punctured in multiple places, and the pack of vicious beasts tore the skin away from his neck halfway down to his torso. It took 3 veterinarians 4 hours of surgery to save him. The fact that he was wearing a body harness is the only reason he wasn't killed outright on that day. We had bought the harness after the second attack in March of last year, which caused severe injuries to his neck. That's right, I'm talking about this is the 3rd time that our neighbor's pack of 5 dogs has attacked my dog, and the death of Bruiser has traumatized us. I posted about this on the Tullahoma Talk page on Facebook, and the public reaction was one of outrage, to say the very least. Meanwhile, our neighbor is allowed to keep these animals, which have never been neutered. Tomorrow, he goes before Judge Conley in city court for the 9 citations issued by Animal Control due to this latest incident. While we were reimbursed for the medical cost, our neighbors, my wife and I, continue to live in fear that these dogs will go after a child next. Our next door neighbor's dog was also attacked last year by the same dog. They told me they are scared to walk to their mailbox. They refuse to walk down the street, and family members have told me that they are frightened to ride their bicycles on our block. This pack of vicious dogs are only restricted by an invisible fence, the electronic fences. But the batteries and the collars were dead the day my dog was attacked. It allowed them to leave their yard and kill Bruiser. After examining the city code, I could find no reference whatsoever to these types of restraints, owning cages, muzzles, and tying dogs to trees or other inanimate objects. When the batteries on these collars fail, and they will, there is nothing to stop these dogs from killing again. Now, the city code concerning vicious dogs at large must be updated and strengthened to allow animal control to protect the public. The officials have done all they can for us. They really went out of their way to help us during this. It's a horrific situation. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts. But they are limited by the current statute as is written today. We do not want to see anyone else go through what we have suffered. Citizens should be able to go outside and enjoy their property and their neighborhood without the fear of being attacked. I pray that the city takes action immediately on this issue before a human being becomes the next victim. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Are there any other public comments at this time? Now, we'll move into department reports. Reports from the alderman. I guess I'll just start around the corner in case anybody has, probably don't have a lot of reporting today, but I assume people might want to say a word or two. So, Alderman Byrd.
I think that I'll hold my comment at this time. Thank you, though. I appreciate to be here.
Alderman Wilson.
Thanks, Mayor. I would just like to welcome the new board on. I look forward to sitting up here with each of you and seeing what may come.
Alderman McGee.
I would just like to once again thank the citizens of Tullahoma for this opportunity yet again. I'm excited to be back on this board. I'm excited to work with this board of mayor and aldermen, and I'm just ready to get to work. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Mathis.
Yes, sir. I would like to welcome our new members. I'll tell you this before we get started, it will be an experience. So it'll be something, a good experience, we hope. So glad to have you.
Thank you, sir. Alderman Glick.
Yeah, I want to echo those sentiments and say that I welcome you, and I'm really happy to work with you guys. We'll have, hopefully we'll get a lot of good things done for the city.
And Alderman Toma.
Echo the same. I really look forward to working with the new alderman and the the senior alderman. I'm sure we'll learn a lot from you.
All right. Brings me to the mayor's report, and I just got a couple of brief things to say. First of all, thank you again to everyone, as all of us have stated, for the elections and the warm welcome. This past week, Mr. Quick arranged for training and orientation session for us all day on Monday, and we spent a lot of time visiting various departments. I don't think we got to all of them, but we visited quite a few, and I just wanted to tell the public, and I already knew this to be the case from my past experience, but you have a very resourceful and excellent public staff at the city of Tullahoma, and they do a great job of trying to do everything they can to do things better with not much. I saw the same thing at the county level, and I'm already seeing it here at the city, and I appreciate that. I want you guys to know that. The second thing I just wanted to mention is last week also I went to the 40 Under 40 event the chamber hosts, and it's the second year I've gone to that. If you haven't gone to that, you're missing out. But the thing that strikes me at that event is the young people, the young talent. Our community is full of talent. And so I look forward to the city trying to get out of the way of those people trying to get things done and helping where we can to expedite those things. I thank you for your time this evening. Report from the city attorney.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to introduce to the new board members, Brittany Hoskins, a partner in our law firm, who assists me in city matters. You'll be seeing a lot of her in the future. And I'm going to welcome all of you all to the board. I'm delighted that you're all with us, and I'm looking forward to some really good years of real accomplishments in Tullahoma. You might recall at our orientation last week that I gave you some information about matters that are pending in court right now regarding the city. Those things are confidential, and I hope you'll keep them that way. But if you have any questions about any matter such as that, please call me at my office. It's available. You can look on our website for the law firm, or I can also make cards available to you as well. But I'd like to keep those matters confidential, and I'll be happy to talk with you anytime about any subject that is within the purview of city business. The only thing I have to report to you all tonight is a matter that I did mention briefly at our orientation last week, and that was that we're going to embark upon the beginning of preparing for a delinquent property tax sale that has not been accomplished for a number of years. I've already gotten some information from Ms. Ashley, and we're working on that right now. That should bring some of the property in Tullahoma that is violating our codes into line, because if those properties are not redeemed by the property owners and meet our code requirements, then we will be able to either purchase that property at the tax sales and demolish or repair those, or require the purchaser at the tax sale to do so. This is Mr. Mercado from Codes Department is doing a wonderful job in helping clean up our city. I know y'all are all enthusiastic about that. We're going to keep on doing that. So anytime you have any questions, please feel free to either call me or Ms. Hoskins. We'll be happy to accommodate you. Thank you for being here and serving with the Tullahoma.
Mr. Quick, you're next, but I just remembered an item I forgot, which I need to mention. So I have been chairman for many years now, I think 14 years, of the Tullahoma Area Economic Development Corporation, which I cannot serve on as being, while holding the position of mayor. So I'm announcing my resignation this evening from the TAEDC board, and so we'll be looking to appoint a new appointee to that board. Anyone that has an interest in that is invited to fill out it's called a citizens participation form, correct, Mr. Quick?
Correct.
So you can get one of those at City Hall or contact any of us, and we can make sure you get one. If you have an interest in serving on that board, we'll be appointing it in short order, probably. Mr. Quick.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. How does that sound?
That sounds okay.
Good. I want to say thank you to the new members of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for attending that orientation. I think you were able to gather a lot of information, and I wanted to say thank you to Mayor Seaborn for acknowledging what I have seen for the last year, which is an outstanding group of department heads and employees that work for the city that just do an incredible job. And I always love to be able to show them off to everybody, and appreciate your kind words. Our feasibility study for City Hall continues. We've had meetings with different companies and officials looking at the building, and we are hoping that we have an October date, perhaps, of a finish date where we'll be able to start presenting things to the board. But we'll keep you updated on that. I had a great implementation call with UKG. We met with the project manager. Again, UKG is the human resource information system that we're looking at going to, which is going to streamline a lot of our HR onboarding processes, benefit coordination processes. So we were able to meet with that person. Adam Booker and Lori Ashley were very instrumental in that call as well. So we're looking at starting that hopefully sometime in the next several weeks. Speaking of meetings, Lori Ashley and I attended a couple of meetings with our benefits providers for our employees, also retirement that was provided. Sue Wilson was a part of that in meeting with those partners, just to make sure that we are providing all the benefits that we possibly can, and making sure that we're following all the protocols. And we had excellent meetings, and look forward to sharing some of that information with you also in the next several months. One of the things that was really incredible that I saw last week was a collaboration between a private enterprise and our fire department. XP, which does helicopter repair work and restoration, had an exercise that had to have severe or strong coordination with our fire department. And Nick Kimbrough, our fire marshal, did an outstanding job in about, I believe it was 2 days, to get all of that together. And it was incredible to watch as XP's starting to put together new apparatus that helps with firefighting, kind of like what you would see with firefighting up in the mountains or whatnot, where there's a stream of water that comes out of a helicopter or an airplane. But to see the coordination for our firefighters in doing that was just really incredible. And I just want to say thank you again to Chief Pearson and to Nick Kimbrough and all of our firefighters for being out there and having such a wonderful event. Reminder, 41A Music Fest is going to be coming up September 27th and 28th. Make sure I've got those dates right. TIF for Summerlin is something that's going to be coming before the board in the next several months. Had a meeting today that I attended where sort of some of the language is starting to become more solidified. It looks like it's going to be an excellent opportunity for the city of Tullahoma. So that looks like it's going to be finalized, going to go before the TAEDC board, and then come before the BUMA board, hopefully sometime in October is what we're seeking. So that was very exciting. Continue to have coffee with various citizens. I always enjoy sitting down and learning from people what their thoughts are, and what ideas or comments or concerns they have, so appreciate that. The Safe Haven Baby Box, which was a collaboration between Alderman Mann and Chief Pearson, has now been installed at Fire Station 1, and tomorrow is going to be the first of 7 safety tests that we will have. If you have a chance to go by there, it's really incredible when you go in and watch, but it's on the other side where you see the delivery aspect of how that baby is going to be taken care of, and what the alerts are going to look like. So if you have a chance to go by there and look at it, and I think some of you were able to see some of that during our orientation. Earlier this week, or I'm sorry, late last week, we had an incident in Tullahoma which was very frightening for many of us. We had a pursuit that initiated with Coffee County Sheriff's Department that came into the city of Tullahoma. There was an individual that definitely needed to be apprehended, and unfortunately caused several wrecks along the way. We are so fortunate, as we go back and look at it, the tragedies that were averted by the grace of God, that some people were not severely injured or killed is just is unbelievable. I say that to let you know that we have been contacted by Round Rock, Texas, and they are wanting to donate up to 30 spike strips for our police department to use. So that would avert any of those pursuits that are coming into our city limits from one of the 4 directions, where we would be able to put those spike strips down and be able to eliminate those types of pursuits to come into town. So they are wanting to donate 30 sets to us, and basically those sets are coming through a surplus. There's various technologies in which you can stop a pursuit, and they're going to go to a different technology, and they're willing to donate those spike strips, and in fact, not only donate, but they're going to pay for the shipping to get here. And so Chief Alan Banks is wanting to donate that. It's about a $12,000 value, and I just wanted to make sure the board was, 1, aware of it, and number 2, see if you had any questions about accepting that donation. On a side note, I have spoken to our insurance company, asked about any kind of spike strip policies they have, any concerns they have, and they have none. Once those spike strips are received, we will then do training. We're going to be certified through a collaborative effort with Chief Chad Parton through Coffee County Sheriff's Department. They're going to come down, and what we're thinking is hopefully every patrol car will have a set of spike strips in the trunk that would help alleviate those problems. So I want to make sure before we accept that to see if the board had any concerns before we give them the green light.
The only question I would have is there any kind of age limiting on those things that they're running out of warranty or out of operational life?
That was a question I have. I don't see that. I think
I wouldn't expect it, but thought I'd ask.
Right, and obviously that was a concern. I didn't want to take something that was going to be a concern. It seems like these are all in very well operational condition. They just strictly wanted to go to a different type of technology. So if you're good with that, we'd love to do it. Last thing is, I was able to see some of the pictures of that animal that was attacked, and probably some of you as well, and I can only imagine as a dog owner what the emotions are with that. We are going to be looking to come to you with some additions to ordinances for vicious dogs that will take some of the limitations that our police and animal control have in removing those dogs. Right now, our ordinance, as the speaker mentioned, it does handcuff our officers where there's only so much they can do. So I've spoken with Chief Sons. We'll be working with animal control, and we'll be looking to bring those to you in the very near future. That's my report.
Thanks, sir.
One comment. You might want to check our policies, but you might have to bring the spike strip donation to the board.
Well, that was a question that we had, is as long as the board was aware of that.
I mean, we could approve it right now as far as I'm concerned, but I thought that in the past that was the policy, to accept a donation.
Wasn't sure if that needed to be an actual agenda item. We don't have a problem doing that.
Sounds like you're still working on accepting it, so why don't we wait until we...
Put it on the 6th?
Sure, and put it on the next agenda.
I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, so we will put that on the 6th. We'll write that up for you and get that to you. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
All right, new business. Resolution number 1988, a resolution to amend the table of organization of the city of Tullahoma, Tennessee. I believe Mr. Quick's got to press some sheets for us.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped the consent agenda. Thank you. See, she's keeping straight already. Awesome. Consent agenda. The only thing we have on there is the vacancy on the airport authority. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't looking. It didn't come up there. Yeah, well, there we go. All right, so we have a motion from Alderman Glick, second from Alderman Mathis on the consent agenda. All in favor? Vote, I guess, I'm sorry. Used to my committee meetings. All right, consent agenda passed. Now, on to the resolution about the organization change. Mr. Glick, you got some information on that, I think.
Mr. Quick?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
What did I say?
I think you said Glick.
I think you did.
I'm sorry about that.
I was
Good
interested
job.
to hear the presentation myself.
Just, y'all get used to it, that's all I can say.
So again, one of the things that I always want to make sure we express is the talent that we have here. I want to encourage you, as you have looked at your packet, you'll be receiving department reports on a monthly basis. I hope you'll take the time to look at the Employee of the Month for August. It's Adam Booker, and read the story behind what led him to become the Employee of the Month. He did some really outstanding work. If you'll remember when CrowdStrike, the issue came through and all of a sudden the world stopped for a while, Adam was able to keep us calm and cool as well, and did an outstanding job of getting us all back up and running. So I want to just make sure that you see that. Also, I want to make sure that we are aware, Mayor Seaborn, you had mentioned the 40 under 40, and I think that is an unbelievable recognition for our young people. We were fortunate to have one of our staff members, Brooke Arthur, who's here tonight. She is our training sergeant who was recognized as 40 under 40, and I just want to say thank you to Brooke. She does an amazing job in organization and detail and keeping our police department up to date with all the certifications and all that needs to be done. So I just want to say thank you to Brooke. In front of you, you have the organizational chart, which I had briefly shown to you during the orientation. For the last year, what I've been focused on is just trying to look for operating efficiencies, look for areas that we could, increase efficiency and also try to reduce costs, but never to reduce costs for the sake of cost alone. We always want to make sure that we're putting together a quality product and putting together quality procedures for the city to operate. What I've come to you tonight is with a couple of things. One is I want to show a reorganization that we've had of sorts. And basically what is...
Let me interrupt you just a second. For folks
Yes, sir.
searching in their package, it's page 105. Thank you. Because it is buried way back in there. Go ahead.
No, okay, thank you, sir. We have, as we've talked about earlier, we have promoted Paige Jackson to Assistant Finance Director. And then you'll look underneath there, the reorganization that we had is the fantastic young ladies up front who work with the public on a daily basis, who are always taking some kind of financial transaction. They are now going to be serviced under, they're going to now be under the finance department, and be so that way all of our, basically from money collection to adjudications and all of our auditing, all of that's going to be under one umbrella. We are asking that Adam Booker become our Director of Information Technology. I believe that is something that we are desperately in need of, because we also need to look to hire a person to go underneath him that will be an IT tech. The IT technician is something that we've always had in our organizational chart. The Director of Information Technology is something new that I'm asking for you to consider. The other position that I would ask you to consider is we're looking to combine Lori Ashley, who has done a fantastic job in not only being city recorder, but since interimly taking over the HR responsibilities, has done an incredible job in making sure that we continue to follow all the proper procedures and protocols. but also looking for efficient, other ways for us to do things. And so she and Carrie Rourke have done an incredible job of looking at how can we do things better, more efficiently. We're convinced that by moving HR officer underneath Lori, we would then have the backup of Carrie Rourke, who will serve as the HR coordinator. All the onboarding, benefits coordination, all of the paperwork that goes with that would stay with Carrie. Lori would handle more of the higher end tasks such as disciplinary issues, maybe some of the higher level interview processes, things of that nature. This is something we feel like will work with us right now, especially in the fact that we have a 7% turnover rate. We're not seeing a lot of onboarding and a lot of people leaving right now. That combined with UKG, we believe is really going to help us become even more efficient. So I'll propose to you that we create a position or combine the position of city recorder and human resource officer into one position, and that we have Adam Booker to be named as the Director of Information Technology.
Thank you, sir. So we have a motion and a second to that effect. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Alderman Wilson.
Thanks, Mayor. I think that obviously the savings sounds great, and it does seem to make sense, the restructuring, but particularly the only thing that I kind of worry about with combining the positions with Miss Ashley taking on the extra workload would just be if something, God forbid, that she would leave, that it would be maybe a little more difficult to find someone in that role.
So, first of all, Lori's not ever leaving. We have a commitment.
I think so,
Just so you know, all my department heads, we have special agreements, they can't leave. In the unforeseen that she did win the lottery and now she's on the beach, which is exactly where she would go, we would then, as a board, I would ask you for your thoughts on should we then divide that back up into a city recorder position, into an HRO position. I truly believe that this UKG product is really going to help us. But one of the things that Lori and I have committed to is we're going to run this thing. So we expect UKG to be implemented January 1. And we want to run this thing, and let's take a look at it every 30 days, 60 days. Is this working? Does this make sense? And Lori has promised that if she's like, hey, this is too much, I can't really, this is more than one person, then we'll come back to you with another recommendation. But I think this is something that warrants us looking at that. The other thing that I will add is the relationship that we have now with our liability partner versus what I've experienced in the past year is night and day. I'm on the phone with Travelers, Lori's on the phone with Travelers at least once, twice a week, getting ideas, thoughts. So, for example, speaking to them about spike strips, what are their thoughts and concerns? We're always thinking the first thing when we're looking at things like this is what does our insurance company say? What do they think? And especially if they have policy and procedures, which they have done, they've been able to bring that back to us, and then we've been able to make better decisions with that. So I think that gives us a lot more confidence than what I would have brought to you this time last year if that were the case. So that would be my answer to you, but that is a valid concern.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good explanation.
Any other comments? Now, if we're prepared, let's vote. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed you there.
That's okay. I do have a quick question. Well, I just want to piggyback on Alderman Wilson. Will there be opportunities for cross-training between Carrie and Lori in the event, that something, God forbid, something does happen?
There will be.
Okay.
They work very closely together. They're great colleagues with one another, and that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed is Carrie brings a different skill set and experiences that none of us have had before as a training manager for a large company. And so she's been able to bring some of her experiences and share those with Lori. Lori's been able to share some experiences that she's had in her HR training or HR position when she was at Cowan. She did some HR as well. So they do an awful lot of that. The other thing that is helping us, again, is Travelers and even Cheryl Morgan. We've reached out to them. We're going to be having sessions with them where they're going to come in. We're going to show them process, procedure, protocol, ask if it's best practice, and then have them give us some ideas on what they think would work well for us. So we're no longer going to be working in a silo. I think we're going to be inviting those outside partners who have a vested interest in our success. I think that will help quite a bit. But great comment.
Any other comments or questions? We're prepared to vote? Let's take the vote. All right, motion carries 7-0. We're on the next item, 24-11-3. A request from Parks and Recreation Department to approve the contract with Bueller Band and authorize mayor to sign in the amount of $3,000 for the Rock Creek Concert Series scheduled for October 11th, 2024. Mr. Quick, I assume this is already in the budget, correct?
Yes, sir. This is already in the budget. This is something that has become a tradition of late that people have really looked forward to. I want to commend J.P. Kraft, Parks and Rec Director. I don't know if you've ever seen the Bueller Band. You can go online. You're really going to enjoy them. They are some outstanding talent. I go back and I look at what he's been able to, and Lyle, where's Lyle as well, they've been able to bring in the form of talent is amazing. So this is definitely in the budget, something that we're anxious to get approved so we can go ahead and start the planning.
All right. Any comments or questions? Do we have a motion to approve? Yes, we do. I got to look at that board first. All right, so motion from Alderman Mathis, second from Alderman McGee. Let's vote. All right, that passes 7-0. And then the next item is a related item, a request from Parks and Rec to approve the production quota of $10,128. Authorize the mayor to sign agreement will receive from Myers Concert Productions for the stage and sound engineering support for Performance Bueller for the Rock Creek Concert Series scheduled for Friday, October 11th. So same event. Anybody have any comments about that? If not, we'll go ahead and vote. We've got a motion from Alderman Wilson, a second from Alderman McGee. Let's go ahead and vote. And 7 yes. Motion carries. Item 24-115, request from Parks and Rec Department to approve accept the bids for the Cascade Park Greenway Bridge Ramp replacement. Is that Godot Concrete Construction for the concert ramps bid of $13,660 and Superior Machine and Tool bid for the handrails for a cost of $7,100. Insurance payment for damaged bridge of $3,217 to be applied to the cost with a final due of $17,542, which is available in the Parks and Recreation Reserve account. Does everybody understand which bridge we're talking about? It's the one right in behind the library, correct? That's correct? Yeah, thank you.
Correct.
So it's that bridge behind the Cascade Ballpark. Yeah. All right. Any other discussion? Well, we've got a motion from Alderman Glick, second from Alderman Wilson. Any discussion?
I would just say that was that bridge was one of the first things when I started working for the city of Tullahoma in 1985. That we built and installed those wooden ramps. So they've served us well, and I think those wooden ramps that we're replacing probably cost less than the $3,000 we're getting from the insurance at that time. So it's a good project, and these concrete ramps will last and not have any problems. So.
Any other discussion? If not, let's vote. Motion carries 7-0. Item 24-116, or 116, a request from the Public Works Department to approve an extension of the contract with Benchmark Mulch and Grinding and authorize the mayor to sign the letter requesting extension of the FY 22-23 contract for brush grinding services with Benchmark Mulch and Grinding in the amount of $63,000. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion from Alderman Wilson and second from Alderman Burke. Alderman Glick.
I just had some questions on this item. I see the contract must have expired June 30th. So have we not had to do any grinding and stuff, or chipping since then? So I was wondering why we're just, the item is $63,000, and why are we not rebidding it or at least getting other prices on it. Seems like a substantial amount enough, and it must not be an emergency item since we haven't even done it in 2 months.
I'm going to have Eric Pierce. For those of you that are unaware, Butch Taylor has been out pocket for about the last week and a half and has had suffered an eye injury. So Eric has done an outstanding job of stepping in for Butch, and I've asked Eric if he would to speak to that.
Yes, what it is usually about 3 to 4 times a year we'll have the mulch company come in barring any major storms. So it just fell in between the timing. So if everything works, and everything's approved, they would be coming in probably after Labor Day or late September would be the normal timing when we have the mulch. So
would that give us enough time to bid it then, or to rebid it, since there might be some other options out there, and I would like to see if there was.
Yeah, I know when we had done the original with Benchmark, the original contract, we had piggybacked off of Lewisburg and some other municipalities that were using them. And currently, right now, I probably would not have the room if it was to extend past another month. Because seeing that we store all of this at the Public Works facility.
Right, but
Mr. Glick, does the city have a policy on when things have to be bid?
It does. I'm going to go to Sue on this, if you will.
This is over our bid amount, unless they were willing to agree to the contract with the same pricing. Otherwise, yes, we would normally bid.
Okay. Yeah, is it the same price?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
however, I mean, we had plenty of time to seek other prices. There was a reason why we had the original contract, instead of having a 2-year contract, had a 1 year with the option to add the second year. So I was, it seems like we should at least, when we have that option, we should at least seek other prices to make sure the city's getting the best deal for the money, and see what other options there are.
Any other comments or questions? All right, well, let's call the vote. One no, 6 yes, motion carries. Item 24-117, a request from the Public Works Department to approve the purchase and authorize the mayor to sign quote acceptance for a 2024 Peterbilt 520 chassis Sidewinder automated residential garbage truck in the amount of $385,972 with a Sourcewell contract number you see there. This is a big ticket item, so I figured the new members would like to hear a little bit about that.
So as you'll see, we usually have a 8-year lifespan on a truck like that. Unfortunately, the truck has blown its engine. The city of Tullahoma has 3 what I would call side loaders that we see where you have just empty the garbage can. Unfortunately, right now we have 2 that are out of operation, one being this blown engine, and another one is out of commission for the moment. And so we've had to revert back to the old days of 20 years ago where we're going to have guys riding on the back of the garbage truck for the next, probably till January, which has us concerned basically with this heat wave that just came through. And some of our citizens have noticed our schedules have been a little different, where maybe we don't pick up at 10, we may pick up at 12. But this is something that when it comes time to replace a motor in a truck where you have an 8-year lifespan, you don't know what kind of transmission life expectancy you're going to get out of that. We just feel like now is the time for us to do that, and it's in our budget for equipment replacement.
So we have a motion, Mr. Glick. Do we have a second? Okay, we have a second from Alderman Mathis. Comments, questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask, how do they surplus those? Is there any value of a truck that's...
So I haven't been a part of that. If we do surplus it, we put it on Gov Deals and then let somebody, bid on it and take an auction price.
Yes, sir. Yes, that's exactly right. It goes on Gov Deals, and the latest round we've had anywhere from, depending on, we announce if the motor runs or if it's running or anything, we've got anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 on the last 3 or 4 auctions a unit. Of course, if it's running, it'll bring more.
Gotcha.
But I think what we have found is most people then just outsource it for parts. If it's comparable to something they already have in their fleet, they'll just look to use it for any kind of supplemental part.
Commissioner Wilson?
I know that we purchased a new garbage truck in the early part of, 2020? Is that true? Is that one of the ones that is broken right now?
What we have is one of our residential, it is having problems with its DEF filter. So it is about 4 years old, one of our residential trucks that is down. But the one that threw the rod into the motor is probably about 8, 9 years old. But it is broken right now, getting parts.
But it would be that one you're speaking of.
So it's actually 2 years old, that one, the one I'm talking about, the one that was for Anderson Farms?
Oh, no, this one is 4 years old, ma'am, the Mack truck that's broken down in our shop right now.
But you mentioned that the other ones were down right now too, and I was just asking, the one that's 2 years old, what is the issue with that one? Is it, and it's still under warranty?
No, okay, the one that is down in our shop is 4 years old. That's the one that's having problems with DEF, and it's not under warranty.
I thought it was 2 years old.
The one that's 2 years old, I think is what she's asking.
Yeah, the one actually in the shop is the 2020, so, right now, in our shop.
And so it's under warranty then?
No, ma'am.
Sir, could you clarify how many trucks we have and how old they are?
We have, okay, well, I'm sorry. We have 3 residential side trucks, side tippers, okay, that go out and pick the carts up. And then we have 2 frontline dumpster trucks, okay? And then we have a rear load, what is called our junk truck. And then we have an older junk truck. And those are the ones, the rear loads that have the cart tippers, which the employees are running as backups right now. So we have 1 frontline truck that is running, knock on wood, that is fine. 1 that is in our shop at Public Works that is having problems with the DEF system. And so the parts had come in today, but we're hoping that everything can be cleared because everything's electronics now.
Yeah.
So once we have the parts in there, we have to have that computer checked and re-put up. And then we have the motor truck that we're putting in to hopefully replace right now.
So if we purchase this one, then we'll have 3 working trucks then? Because
Yes.
one is just going to be...
Yes, ma'am. Once we get the one out of our shop, when we purchase this, we'll have our 3 frontline residential trucks once this truck comes in. Correct. And then we will be able to put our trucks back in the system that they need to be.
All right.
One of the things we'll do is I'll make sure that I can email to you a spreadsheet of every fleet, or the fleets for all of our departments, so you'll know exactly what we have right now in our fleets for all departments.
Alderman Toma?
Yeah, I still have a question on the 2-year-old truck. Can you give us the ages of the 3 lift trucks?
Yes. So we have bought one previously about 2 years ago, and then we had one 4 years ago. These are the residential. These are the Sidewinders that we're talking. And then the one that is dead with the dead motor right now is approximately 9 years old.
And that's the one you want to replace?
Yes, sir. The confusion, I think, is we have our one that is 4 years old is in our shop right now that's having issues.
Okay, so the 2-year-old's the only one that's running right now?
Correct. Knock on wood, that's running great right now.
Cool.
Hope I didn't jinx nothing.
Any other comments or questions? Ms. McGee?
So the one that is 4 years?
Yes.
It was purchased as a new truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Also? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said the lifespan is normally?
8 years is about where we are.
Yes.
I will tell you.
Yeah, that's right.
And
they take a lot of abuse.
Yes, and normally they say 12 to 1,400 carts tipped a day, and we're averaging, especially with some of the building, that's how we brought the 3rd truck in, but we were averaging that about 1,500 to 1,800. So the 3rd truck has taken a lot off of it, but now that we're down, we're really running, hard with our other trucks, so.
Good questions. Any other discussion? let's go ahead and vote then. Seven yes, the motion carries. Item 24-118, a request from the Public Works Department to approve the William Northern Boulevard Road Widening Project with Rogers Group in the amount of $1,157,353. This project was approved in 2023 and included in the FY25 capital projects budget. And I believe there's a, what page is that? There's a diagram showing that.
133, the 130.
135.
135, so. Mr. Quick?
It's the last page. It's the last page.
It is the last page.
Got anybody you want to bring to speak to this?
So this is part of something that's been on the calendar for quite some time. As many of you know, the Liv Hilton construction is well underway. If you've driven by there lately, it's kind of eye-opening how fast they're moving. Their expectation is for their hotel to be completed in August of next year, and part of the attracted to them was us being able to widen this this roadway. So if many of you remember, there's kind of like a fork. What will happen on the left fork is going to be cul-de-sac at the end, so there will be no ingress or egress from Cedar Lane onto the left fork if you're looking at it that way. But it will have the opportunity for Enable Comp and others to use that street in order to get to the building. On the right side, we're going to be straightening that, trying to take that curve out a little bit. That's going to help us not only initially, but also going to help us from a sidewalk perspective, where we're going to be able to put in sidewalks with ADA compliance, and that needed to be done. The last thing that's part of this project is going to be a traffic signal with crosswalks there at Cedar Lane and at William Northern. I don't know if any of you have gone to the airport, but that is a very concerning intersection for many of us. So that's part of this project. What we did is it had been quoted some time back. Then we saw the inflation, the cost of materials and all that rise. I want to commend Eric and Butch Taylor for really getting this back down to 1.1. When Butch came to me, Butch was green in the gills. He said, "You're not going to believe this," and he came back with about a 1.6 price. And I said, "Oh, no, we got to fix this." And so he and Eric started working really closely to figure out what are ways that we can get those costs down without sacrificing the project. Worked very closely with Scott St. John, and they were able to get back down to the 1.1, which, if you look at it from an inflationary standpoint, I think that's about right where we need to be. If you approve this tonight, the expectation is that work could begin right after Labor Day, once a couple of documents are signed and whatnot. I do want to thank Steve Moran with the Rogers Group. They have been an outstanding partner for the city of Tullahoma as far as doing everything they can to meet our needs, including pricing-wise. So that's our report. If you have any other information that you need, I have Eric prepared to answer any questions.
Alderman Glick.
Yes, is the portion that's grayed out, where it's grayed on the left-hand side, I guess, of the fork, is it going to be removed and turned to just grass or for aesthetics, or is it going to be remaining there?
Okay, on the slope are you talking about?
Yeah, the portion of the tuning fork that we're removing, are we going to dig it out and?
Yes, a lot of it, due to the grade and the rise in the elevation, it'll be a gentle slope, a lot of it.
Okay, that'd be nice. And then it doesn't show a cul-de-sac at where that little thing ends. Is it just going to end like that, or is there?
What'll happen there eventually, once Hilton gets ahead on that, that'll be bulbed at the end. We'll do a lot of that in-house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we didn't show that on here, just for the simple fact, when they have the driveway coming out there, and after everything's there, we'll do a lot of that in-house. We'll take up the old road and we can cul-de-sac past there.
Yeah, this is a good project. It's a long time coming. I'm really excited about the signal there. I mean, we were to make sure we get that going, because Cedar Lane is pretty hard to pull out on sometimes.
Definitely. Any other comments? All right, let's have a vote. Seven yes, the motion carries. That was our last item. We have other new business. Oh, I'm supposed to, sorry. So I was being reminded that we said we were going to announce the airport, and I've lost, do you have that handy? The airport, managed to cover it somehow. Yeah, sorry, to get in front of the microphone. Announce the vacancy of an unexpired term on the Tullahoma Airport Authority Board that expires on February 27th. So once again, if you're interested in serving on the Airport Authority, just come down to City Hall and grab a citizen participation form for that. And there's no other new business, I don't believe. That being the case, we stand adjourned.
Good job.